The Buddha used three main different terms referring to the technique of enlightenment he had discovered. In his maiden sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, he referred to it first as Majjhima Patipada, meaning in English, translated to English as middle path. In the same discourse, he later referred to 8 aspects of this middle path and referred it as Majjhima Patipada, translated into English as Eightfold Path, Noble Eightfold Path, Aryo Attangiko Maggo. On many occasions in other discourses, he referred to this technique of enlightenment as brahmacharya. And he mentioned not only he himself, but all the enlightened ones declare to the world that brahmacharyam, literally meaning sublime behavior, ultimately leading to enlightenment. In Chulla Nirdesa Pali, with regard to the Tissamette Sutta Nirdesa, it is said, Noble Eightfold Path and sublime behavior are synonymous. They are synonymous terms, meaning the same thing. Same thing means here the technique of enlightenment. The basic quality of this technique, as I mentioned earlier, was a middle state of mind between two extremes. This he referred to as the middle path, in Pali Majjhima Patipada, referring to the extreme of life he led before he became a recluse and after he became a recluse until he got enlightened. One is an extreme sensual life of layman, life of sensual pleasures, enjoying sensual pleasures. Kama Sukallikanu Yogo is referred to as one, being engaged in sensual pleasures, searching for sensual pleasures. As an ascetic under Indian teachers, he became a recluse, going to another extreme, the opposite of extremes, referred to as Attakila Matani Yoga, translated into English as self-mortification. In that, the requirements or the needs or the desires of sense are suppressed, denied, denial of sensual pleasures. The other extreme is the denial of sensual pleasure is one extreme of living. The other extreme is going too much into sensual pleasures, indulgence in sensual pleasures. Over enjoyment of sensual pleasures is referred to as Kama Sukallikanu Yoga. But basically, these two types of activities refer to two types of mental activities. One is getting attached to pleasure, the other is detachment from pleasures or resentment. One is attachment, other is resentment. Attachment is based on likes. Resentment is based on dislike. Liking items is one extreme, disliking items is another extreme. The underlying cause for liking or disliking, according to Buddha, is the ignorance of the reality of things. We like things not knowing its reality. We dislike things not knowing its reality. The basic reality the Buddha referred to is, with regard to every item, every phenomenon in this universe, is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means dynamism, active. Every item, though it may look apparently static, not moving, everything is moving, because every material unit is made of atoms. Round the atom, the nucleus, electrons are constantly moving. Inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons are rotating round, moving. They are always, all activities, all atoms are active, dynamic. That means it is changing from one state to another state. Therefore, no item in this universe can retain a permanent identity. These are the three basic realities of the universe that the Buddha referred to as tilakkhana, triple nature of the universe. Anicca, dynamic, active, creative. Dukkha, in a state of transformation, changing from one state to another state. Through dynamism, things get generated, and through dukkha, things get degenerated. Therefore, nothing can retain a permanent identity, that is called anatta, referred to as soullessness. No soul, no permanent identity of anything. When one realizes this reality, one does not get attached to things, nor does one resent things. And one is able to accept things as they are. In that sense, accepting things as they are. Before accepting things, one must see things as they are. That is called yatha bhuta jnana dassana. Seeing things as they are. Seeing things as they are means seeing things without liking or disliking, being aware of their real nature. That itself is the middle path. Then when one sees things as they are, one can accept things as they are. That is called yatha labha santushti, contentment. Contentment means middle path. Accepting things as they are is also middle path, therefore it's a excellent behavior, a noble behavior, mentally noble behavior, sublime behavior, that Buddha referred to as brahmacharya. Therefore, seeing things as they are, yatha bhuta jnana dassana, is a way of being in the middle path for enlightenment. Accepting things as they are, the contentment, that means without liking or disliking, accepting things as they are. That is also being in the middle path. Then in meditation, the mind gets tranquil. That is, tranquil means one get one pointed, not moving. The mind is constantly moving from object to object, from idea to idea, from thought to thought. When the mind gets settled down in one point, it is in a middle point, not going up or down, not going backward or forward, neither going into the past nor going into the future, being in the present. That is one pointedness mind called samadhi. Then in jhana, in Sanskrit it is called dhyana, getting absorbed in that one pointedness. There is also being in the middle path. Even Buddhist meditation starts with tranquilizing the mind. Tranquility of the mind, that meditation is called samatha bhavana. Samatha is tranquilizing the mind, making the mind tranquil. Tranquil means not moving. Being in one point that is bringing tranquil to the mind. There is also being in the middle path. Then there is another part term called tatra majjatata. That means balance of mind. Balance of mind means not going to extremes, neither liking nor disliking. That is middle path. Being in the middle path. And that is a sublime way of thinking, sublime way of mental behavior. And even upekkha, equanimity. Free, the mind free from conflicts. The mind free from frictions and conflicts. That means accepting things as they are. Being one-pointedness. That's upekkha. Therefore, equanimity of the mind, it is also being in the middle path. Therefore, basically, although different terms are used to denote the technique of enlightenment, the basic technique, the first word used by the Buddha in his first sermon is the middle path, in Pali word Majjhima Patipada. With that, the mind becomes tranquil. And the tranquil mind can go deeper into its own nature, going deeper into the mind. The tranquil mind can see deeper. When the mind is in commotion, not tranquil, not peaceful, you cannot see through the mind. When the mind becomes tranquil, in the middle point, not moving means normally our mind is moving into the past and into the future. When we become aware of something through our sense organs, we recognize it with our previous memories, past memories. Therefore, perception is always dependent on, we perceive things through our previous knowledge, the knowledge of the past, knowledge of the dead past. Therefore, in perceiving sense objects, the mind is moving into the past to recognize it with the previous experiences. And when it recognizes it, the mind has its own desires, positive or negative. Like means you want it or you want to have it. Dislike means you don't want it. Therefore, both attraction and repulsion of the mind are motions, mental motions. Being in the middle path is the mind free of mental motions. Liking means the mind going into the future. I want to have this even in the future. That is the idea of liking it. You like not only at the present moment, you want to continue what is in the present moment in a present form. That means liking is related to the unborn future and disliking is related to the dead past, because we dislike things through our previous experiences. Thus, middle path is being in the present moment. That is why it is said Nirvana is here and now. In Pali terms, it is sanditiko. It can be seen now, sanditiko. Now, it can be seen here, ehipassiko. Nirvana is here and now. That means when we are in the middle point, when we are not moving either into the dead past or into the future, and when we accept things as they are, without liking and disliking, you are in a state of mental bliss called nirvana. That is the beginning of nirvana. Ultimately, it becomes permanent without changing from that state of bliss, and that is called enlightenment. Enlightenment means constantly being in the middle point without any motion. Without motion means the mind is moving whenever the mind is thinking. Motionless mind means a non-thinking mind. Non-thinking, but the living mind means the mind that is conscious, that is aware of things. Therefore, Krishnamurti referred to nirvana as choiceless awareness. That is the technique of enlightenment. Being aware without liking or disliking. Liking means we make a choice. This is good. We make a choice in disliking, saying this is bad. Accepting things as they are means being aware of things as they are. And that is awareness, choiceless awareness referred to by Krishnamurti. And that is the basic technique of enlightenment according to Krishnamurti, and it is not different from Buddha's statement of the technique of enlightenment that is called the middle path, being in the middle. It is not a path, it is a mental state. The mind free of attraction and repulsion, the mind free of liking and disliking, the mind free of thinking. We think of things when we like something, or we think of things that we dislike. We think of things that we like, we think of things that we dislike, and we think of things that we are ignorant. Awareness must be there. When we are aware, we know something. Therefore, thinking is caused by ignorance, liking and disliking. Enlightenment means the complete extinction of liking, disliking and ignorance. That is why nirvana is called ragakkaya, dosakkaya, mohakkaya. Raga means liking, dosa means disliking, moha means ignorance. Therefore, ragakkaya means extinction of liking, dosakkaya means extinction of disliking, mohakkaya means ignorance, extinction of ignorance. That means the mind is alert, aware, conscious, accept things as they are, and that is a tranquil mind, and that is a blissful mind, and that bliss of nirvana can be enjoyed here and now. It can be seen here, as I mentioned earlier. That is why it is called ehipassiko, can be seen now. Ehipassiko can be seen here, sanditiko can be seen now. When we are mentally here and now, you are in the middle point without going mentally into the dead past or into the unborn future. That is the state of middle path in your mind, and it is a continuation of that path that ultimately leads to the supreme bliss of enlightenment, which is nowhere else but within oneself. That is a blissful mind. Blissful mind means mind free of thinking. A mind free of thinking means mind free of liking and disliking and ignorance. Mind that is fully aware. Aware means sensitive mind. Tranquil mind, but sensitive mind. Aware, but not getting disturbed by anything. That is why it is said in the Mahamangala Sutra, Puttasta loka dhammehi chittang yasana kampati. The tranquil mind, the enlightened mind, does not get disturbed by world events. The world is moving on, but that mind remains unmoved, tranquil, peaceful. That is being enlightened.